I am Grammy and welcome to my kitchen.
Today I'm making Grammy's less than perfect apple fritters. Yeah, less than perfect because I had some issues. So, what you're going to do for this recipe is make sure you have a 2-pound loaf worth of sweet yeast rising bread dough. You can make it by hand, you can make it in your bread maker, or you can purchase it from your local grocery store. And make sure that the dough has risen at least once before you start putting these fritters together. So you take 6 tart apples and you wash them, then peel them and core them and chop them into pieces. That's what I'm doing with right now. So these apple fritters, this is a great recipe. I just needed to give myself a break and to think about what I did that wasn't perfect. And you'll see some of those in a minute. But these apples, when I chop them, and I'm going to make an apple pie like filling, were awesome. So make sure you follow these directions to the T, and you'll have awesome apple pie filling that you can use in other things, like if you want to make danishes or hand pies or gosh, anything. You can put this stuff like a spoon or two in a thing of oatmeal. It would be so delicious. That's Grammy's favorite kind of oatmeal is the apple cinnamon oatmeal. All right, so once you have everything chopped, you are going to take the juice of 1/2 of a lemon and you're going to pour it over your apples. It gives it just a little more twang and it keeps your apples from turning brown, of course. Then you're going to take a cup of sugar in a medium-sized saucepan, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And you're going to mix those together thoroughly with a whisk. And then you're going to add in 1/4 cup of water. And you're going to whisk those ingredients together and cook them over medium heat until your slurry has thickened. And it's going to take a little bit of time. It'll get up to a small boil, and you will notice that it will get, significantly thicker. And then you're going to dump in your apples. And you're going to coat your apples in all that yummy goodness that you just made. That it's kind of like caramelizing the sugar and delicious. Then you're going to simmer this on low heat until your apples are fork tender. Then after your apples are fork tender, you're going to shake a little bit of salt over the top of them. Now you're going to prepare your dough. So you're going to roll out your dough to about a 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch thick on a large cutting board. This next part can get a little messy, I'm not going to lie. So once you have it stretched out to, that 1/2 inch, you take about 1/3 of your apple pie filling, fold over your dough, and then you're going to roll this with a rolling pin to kind of get those apples kind of into the dough a bit. Then you're going to put on the rest of your pie filling. And you're going to fold over that dough again. And then you're going to cut it into strips. And then you're going to cut it perpendicular to what the cuts you made till you make cubes of dough, basically, with this apple stuff in between. Now this next part is it's messy, but it is kind of fun. You're going to mix those cubes of dough and your apples and mix it all up. And then you're going to form a ball of dough and apple. I used about a handful. And I had my oil in the pot, but I didn't have it thick, deep enough. So my fritters kind of were touching the bottom of my pan, which you do not want to happen because they're going to stick a bit. And so this is where Grammy had her problem. So you're going to let them cook in the oil until they get golden brown. And once they get golden brown, you can start seeing it along the edges. Then you will flip them over and cook them for another minute or two. I put about 3 of them in at a time in my size of pot. And you'll notice everything fell apart. And it was kind of frustrating for me, to say the least. I reformed them back into a fritter. And then I made my glaze, which is 1 cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of softened butter, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. And then I glazed my fritters. Now, Papa, I don't have Papa eating these, but let me tell you, he ate because even though they were ugly, they were delicious. Just goes to show, don't give up. And things don't have to be perfect to be good. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And when was the time that you had a problem baking something? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear it.